welcome back to the channel. It's Carrie here from Carrie Counts Cash. We are all doing well. I am doing better than I was yesterday. I'm in a better headspace to sit down and film these videos. We're going to be filming 3 videos kind of back to back. So if I'm wearing the same things or kind of chatting about the same things, that's why. But this is my last cash stuffing of May. This is $2,015. Some of this money was from marketplace sales that I made, but most of it was from my regular paycheck. Some things have changed in my setup, not too much, but we'll go through it as we go. A lot of those were savings challenges. I'm very excited to show you. You guys are gonna be like, man, this girl never stops changing things around, but I feel like that's not a bad thing if we're talking about avoiding burnout in budgeting. And it's not really that I was burnt out, but I was burnt out on some of the challenges that I was doing. So I'll show you that in that video. But as always, we are going to start with our cash envelopes. So let's pull out the money that we have in eating out first. There's $5 left in here. This money is going to be going straight into my $5 and my $10 savings challenge, which after we use this for maybe not last week, it is very, very, very empty. So that's gonna go straight in there. And then we are going to get our iPad out so everybody can see what we're doing. So eating out is going to get $60 minus 5 because I just stopped and got me a pup. So this is gonna get $55. So we'll do 120, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55. So 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55. And I did spend some of this. I had to go on an unexpected ambulance transfer at work last night. Based on the day that I had, I hadn't really eaten anything. So I stopped on the way back. It was probably about 10:30 by the time we were on our way back last night, and got myself some McDonald's. And I don't know what it is, but McDonald's at 11 o'clock or midnight or middle of the night. Not that it's good for you or good in general, but it was especially good at that time of night when I was in the back of a limo. I say limo, but an upgraded luxury car that our hospital uses to transfer the nurses back, and heated seats. It was dark. I was getting paid to sleep. Lovely. It couldn't have been better. And I say unexpected in the way that sometimes you're going on transfer, but other times you get in there and they're like, hey, you're at the door in 15 minutes. And so that was nice. And I was back midway through my shift and I didn't have any patients. So I just kind of helped out my coworker, but I wasn't responsible for anything after that point. And it was nice. So I got to just be very chill at work last night, and it was really good for resetting my headspace. Okay, so gas. Gas is $85 in it. And instead of putting this in my $5 and my $10 savings challenge, I'm actually going to use it this week as rollover for something else. We're gonna switch the way I do my gas rollover. It used to go to car maintenance. We're gonna start putting it in my car payment. We're just gonna add a little bit of supplemental money here. So this is 50, 70, 85. And we are going to set this all aside. I'm gonna put it off camera just so that I don't mix it up or forget about it. But we are gonna add our typical 150 in here. So 50, 100, 120, 140, 45, 150. And the denominations might not be exactly right this time, guys. So just bear with me if I have to make some change, but the bill swap is coming up after this. So it's gonna work out in the end. So gas is 150 now, and I did fill up yesterday because gas went up 6 cents. And I just put the little tracker in there so that I could follow that. I don't typically fully track the wallet expenses outside of my spending tracker, because I find that I spend out of them so frequently that I just don't use a budget sheet in there. But that's where we're at. Groceries does have some money left. We are also going to use this for something else. I'm going to put this in my $5 challenge. And this we are going to use down the road, but I will put it in the cash tray. Actually, so I don't know why I did that, but we'll do, we'll do two 50s, and we'll do a 20, 40, 60, 80, 1. So 51, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200 in groceries. And I know I said I was going to start just like rolling over whatever was on the envelope week to week, but I am going to use that $50 for something else, which you might not be surprised, and you probably already know if you're paying attention. So miscellaneous is getting 5. I do have this little like scratch over in here from Lunova B. When I bought some savings challenges, this came because I did attempt to film these videos yesterday. I did already scratch off. So $5 is what's going in here, and we did spend every penny out of this in the last 2 weeks. I have been one heck of a spending spinster. It's been a time. So lastly is self-care, and this is going to get $25. This money is the money that was from our mini savings challenge last week, the $200, and then I put the other $100 in special occasions for my niece Maya. So I'm gonna put 25 in here. And now we have 51, 52, 20, 25, 225 in here. And this will go towards hair, nails, and petty next time I go, which is on my birthday. So yay for me. This is bills. I'm just gonna tuck this right underneath the tray a little bit. Bill's buffer is going to get $5. I'm going to start trying to build this back up again just in case. And once I have most of the bigger payments out of the way, then I might start stuffing 1 month ahead as well. Car payment has had a big change since you guys have been here last. And some of you might not agree with the decisions that I've made over the last 2 weeks. But so when I left you, I didn't know if my vehicle had a transmission issue or what was going on, but I was basically trying to mitigate my damages and jump the heck out of that vehicle, and I haven't been happy with it for over a year. If you've been with me for a bit, you know I have been talking about getting a new vehicle. But then I decided that I was going to wait until my car was paid off and go from there. So when I thought it was a transmission issue, I took $12.50 out of my emergency fund because I did have a pretty healthy chunk in there. So I said I can afford to thin that down a little bit. So I did do that. And then when I restructured my savings challenges, these savings challenges that I was not interested in continuing, that money went here as well. So the emergency fund money never actually came out of the bank. It didn't touch this envelope, but this is the money that I had budgeted from the last paycheck plus the savings challenge money. I think I had $935 or something like that, and a little bit more. But what we are going to do is we're going to put our usual $215 in here. So 100, 200, 210, 215. But we are also going to put the money that we had left from gas in here as well. So then this will be, it should all be $1,500 total. That was way more complicated than it had to be. So let me count this and we'll see. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, 1,350, 1,400, 1,420, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $1,500 for my car payment, plus the $1,250 that is already in the bank, and I have made these payments. I just need to pay myself back. I paid $27.50 minus the $430 that is actually due on the 1st, because Nissan's just going to take that out automatically. So it was just a little bit over $2,300 that I have already made on this payment for the 1st of June. And I did make myself a little tracker for this one. It says I am going to be debt free. So this was my car payment, the amount of the loan that was due about 2 weeks ago. So it was $10,437.84. And each of these little honeycombs is worth $107.50. Now, this does not equal this number. It's a little bit higher. I think it's like 10,750 maybe. So I gave myself a little wiggle room at the end if there is more money to, if there is more money that I have stuffed versus how much I have owed, like the extra couple $100, then I will restuff that later, probably into new car. But I am supposed to be going back on Monday to see about an issue that was still ongoing, but it may be resolved, so I'm hoping that's where we're at. And I did color this in for all of the money that was spent for the car payment, including the $430 that's yet to come out. So you will probably see this tracker moving forward. So that was the biggest one out of the way. Cell phone is gonna get $85. So 50, 70, 85. And we have 50, 70, 85. That is all that is in cell phone. I just made this payment last week. Insurance is gonna get fully funded this time around. It's going to get 100, 120, and 130. So this is 100, 200, 220, 240, 250, 260. Power bill is also getting fully funded. So 110. So we have 100, 200, 210, 220. And I do have a significant credit built up on this account, but I am still just gonna pay $220 every time around. And then when July comes and they reevaluate how much power I have actually used, I might stand to get a fair credit at that point. So subscriptions is going to get $10. Plus it's gonna get the $50 we pulled out of our grocery envelope. And that is simply for the fact that I have elected to get my Costco membership. I just feel like that is worth the value for household items for me. So if I go into the city to test drive some vehicles over the next little bit, which may still happen, then I will get my Costco membership. And I'm gonna save $70. It should be about $65. TV internet is going to get $70. Let's do 20, 40, 60, 70. And then utilities for my water bill, still no word on that. We are going to do $25 and keep bulking this up. So in here we have 100, 200, 250, 270, 290, 310, 15, 20, 325 in utilities. So they might just like slap me in the face with the bill and say, pay this next week, or they might wait until September and they say, hey, you owe us this much. And that is it for bills. 1 month ahead and 3 to 6 months are not getting anything right now. Future is getting $5, and so there's 15 in there. This makes 20. I'm not going to pull that out, but that's in case I decide I want to have a wedding or I want to have babies, and I wasn't specifically saving for either of those goals. That's just kind of like a catch-all. I am going to leave the placeholders in oh shit, but these placeholders obviously are not accurate any longer. I will deal with them on my bill swap, but we are going to add $50. So 20, 40, 50. Wait a minute. I think what I'm gonna do, I think what I'll do is, instead of doing that, take out the 50 and add a $100 bill. I think I'm happier with that. So there is $1,200 in the bank and $250 in cash. So there is $1,450 in my emergency fund still from $2,700. So it did get a little thin down, but it's still like very healthy. So parents has a fair chunk now. We are going to add an additional $25. And so this makes this 100, 200, 300, 400, 420, 40, 60, 65, 70, 75. 475 in my parents, which is very exciting. And next month I will crack the $500 mark, and I could not be more pleased about that. Pet emergencies, I'm not going to take the tracker out. I did color this 20 in here yesterday, and that is what we are adding today. So we have 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, and 185 in pet emergencies. And so this is coming along nicely as well. For TFSA, I did buy this tracker from CashBee on Etsy. Go check her out for sure. And I just bought this little tracker. I am mostly stuffing this with money from my $5,000 savings challenge, or at least that's the goal when I'm completed. But there is $1,010 in here right now, and we are gonna add $5. Each of these icons is about 120. I think it's like 120.66. So this technically is 64.80. But we're just gonna, pretend that that works out correctly. So there's 1,015 in TFSA right now, with the hopes of putting my $5,000 completed savings challenge in here by the end of the year. So we'll have to get going on that because we are definitely behind. But that is it for my savings binder, which brings us to short-term sinking funds. Now, annual fee is fully funded. There's $120 in here, so we'll pull that out on our bill swap. Christmas is getting $5. So it has 100, 120, 130, 135 now. Still no plan for Christmas. Every time I try and have a conversation with my mother, she's like, it's just up to you. I'm like, no, it's really not. So we have to figure it out. But nothing in the works as of yet, really, as far as, am I going to have to stuff more really quickly, or are we just going to do a Secret Santa and put a cap on it? So clothing is going to get $5. And this has 20, 40, 50, 60, $70 now. Cushion is going to get $5. And so I did laminate the tracker that I had bought from Carocash a little while ago, and we are restarting this. So there's $10 in there right now. I did buy a laminator, and my skills are not the best, so please don't come for me. I know they're not great, but it's just basically enough to get me through. And electronics was completely unstuffed because I bought a phone case and a screen protector, and those both got lost in the mail, so Amazon refunded that $25. And I also ended up buying the laminator, which was $75. And I bought a color printer, which was also about $75. So I didn't have the printer very long, and I'd only printed a couple pages, and it literally started to smoke. So I contacted Amazon, and they actually refunded me the money for that. But lo and behold, the $100 I got back from the phone case and the printer I did something else with, and I can't remember exactly what I did, but I did not put it back in here. So we're gonna work on building this back up. It's gonna get $20 today in electronics. And I just bought some cute little stickers at Walmart, so I threw those on there. You'll see more of these when we get to my long-term sinking funds. Fireman's Lotto is our community 50/50 draw. It's $2 a week. It is paid for 2023. This is 2024's money. And this, as of today, is also fully funded. So that is another thing off the plate that we don't have to stuff for next week. So we have 50, 70, 80, 90, 95, 105. So it's 104, but I'll allow the little extra dollar there for grace period. So that is very swell. Health is going to get $5. And it has 100 in the bank, 20, 40, 50, 55, 60. 160 now in health. Household is going to get a healthy chunk. It's going to get $25. I find I never can keep up with this, but I'm hoping if I do get my Costco membership that this should get better, because I should have more bang for my buck, basically. So we have 20, 30, 40, 45, 50. Just as far as like toilet paper, paper towel, and cleaners and things go. The food aspect of Costco doesn't really help me because I can't eat stuff fast enough before it goes bad. But there are certain things that still do make sense, and I would get my money back out of it. Impulses is going to get $5, so $15 now in there. Planner is going to get $5. This is obviously the only money that it has right now. I spent a fair amount for savings challenges and things like that. And I say a fair amount, but I spent like $35-ish restructuring everything. Polaris is going to get 25. So 20 and 5. And I do like to cap them at about $275, $300. So we have 100, 200, 220, 240, 250, 260 in here. And I just bought him litter for my mom's house. And I think he'll maybe need some food, but for the most part, he's topped up. Special occasions is going to get $5. And so now we have 100, 120, 140, 150, 155, and 160. We are, I think I actually, no, I'm going to leave that. The plan is going to be for my mom and I to like have this lobster supper on our birthdays. My birthday is the 6th of June. Hers is the 7th. And so I think I'm going to go up and we're going to like get lobster. And so I'll pay a portion of that and she'll pay a portion of that. And it'll be like our combined birthday present to each other. So I'm looking forward to that. I absolutely love seafood. I love lobster. And we usually get it on Mother's Day, but we didn't end up doing that. And so Mom's like, no, we have to do it for our birthdays because we both missed it. Toiletries is going to get 25. So it has 20, 30, 35, 40 in here now. Vet visits is fully funded at 200. YouTube is going to get 5, so this makes 10. Not going to pull that out. And then that is it for our short-term sinking funds. These are pretty thick with the trackers in there now, so I don't know if I'll like leave them in there or if I'll set them aside somewhere and just like keep following those basically, but not in the envelopes. And then this is my long term. So, car maintenance. Nissan looked at my vehicle last week and they said that it was a bent screw on a control arm causing all of my like noise issues. It wasn't a transmission, but It cost me $53, which I don't think was terrible because I did have a rental for a week. They washed my vehicle and they said they fixed it for 53 bucks, all of that total. And so I really can't complain about that. But I got my vehicle back and it was still making the same sound. And I got it back like Thursday afternoon. Friday, like I was thinking I heard it, but I wasn't quite confident. Then it was a holiday weekend. And then I was working on day shift. So I was busy. I couldn't quite stop and call them and say, hey, the noise is still there. And then, so I got on my night shifts and I called them and they said that they would look at it on Tuesday of this like coming week. So basically the end of May, and that was all fine. But yesterday on my way home from work, I thought my tires were going to fall off on the highway, and I thought very, very, very confident. And it was a white knuckle drive. I was so freaking terrified, didn't know what to do. The adrenaline was on high, and my dealership isn't in this town. It's an hour away, and there's not much for little garages and things around here. So I talked to my dad. He said, like, just go to one of the dealerships. It doesn't matter. Like, go to one of them and see if they will like look and see what your problem is. And so I took it to the Honda dealership, and the guy was really busy, but he said, I'll look at it. And he came back. He said, I retorqued your tires. I don't know how you're alive. I don't know. He said, you should not be. You should not be. And I had like a little mini breakdown right there in the dealership because like on the way home, I knew that, but to hear him put it so bluntly, and he's like, somebody is looking out for you up there because you should not be alive right now. And so basically I was like, you know what, I know that that's unrelated to the initial issue that I was having with the vehicle, but I'm basically just ready to jump ship. I am so over it. I'm so over it. And then, so after he retorqued my tires, I went to work last night. I've driven around. I've done some errands today. I'm not hearing the initial noise, so I'm wondering if it was all related to the same thing because I was very convinced it was a transmission issue. So I don't necessarily want to take it to Nissan on Tuesday and get charged money for them to basically do nothing. But at the same time, I would rather know, like, and it wasn't always a continuous thing. Sometimes it was intermittent, so maybe I'm just, like, not hearing it. But guys, like, I don't even know where I'm at anymore with this. So we're just gonna put a little money in here and just hope for the best. So fees has 200, deductible has nothing, tires has nothing, detailing has nothing, and new car has nothing. So we're gonna put another 20 in service today. So you have 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 135 in service. So I'm like gonna chat with my dad later and see what he thinks I should do, because I probably can still call them on Monday and like say that I don't need to go in if that's the case. But I'm ready to be out. So that's why I really hammered down on my car payment this month, and I'm just trying to pay down some of that loan balance to make some equity in the vehicle. And I know that I could use that money for a down payment. It doesn't really matter, but I feel like it just is less fuss for me to just have it all in equity right now versus that and a down payment, because that's money from two different sources, and it just I don't know. So we'll see. I don't even know what I would get for trade-in on my vehicle. They say it's like around $18,000, so I'm hoping. Seasonal for home maintenance is going to get $100. Actually, let's just do the $100 bill here that we have. And I got this money off Marketplace. I sold a gazebo that I had. I have a second gazebo, actually. The one that I sold was used. And then I have another one that's like brand new in box, and I think somebody's coming to buy it on Saturday, and that I have that for sale for $375. So that might almost fully fund this for my plowing season for 2023-2024. So right now we have 100, 200, 250, 270, 280, 290, 300 in seasonal. And I'm sorry I talked a little bit longer about my car. Some of you probably were looking for an update, especially where I made that post yesterday that sounded very dramatic, and it was dramatic. I was so shaky all day long. I was terrified. I think the adrenaline was still going strong, middle of the afternoon, and I could not sleep. I could not settle. And then I got to work, and they're like, you're gonna have to get in the back of an ambulance, or you or your coworker. And I said to her, I'm like, I love transfers. I don't mind going, but I friggin' almost died in a vehicle this morning, so I don't know that I want to go nuts in the back of an ambulance, but it was fine once I got in there. So seasonal has 300, and nothing else has money in home maintenance right now. Taxes has a fair amount of money in property tax, nothing in income tax. We're gonna stuff 150 in property tax. And so we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 455, 556, 650, 670. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 650, 670. You guys are probably shouting at me in the comments, but I counted this 3 times and I was like, where did my money go? But there was an extra $100 bill stuck in the envelope. My God, when I say I had a little panic attack, and it wasn't quite that traumatic, but still. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 550, 600, 650, 700, 750, 770, 775. That is more up to speed. That is exactly what I thought we had. And when we didn't have that, I was losing my ever-loving mind. Okay. And then Wanderlust. I love those stickers, and I threw them all over the envelopes that I got, in here as well. And I just think it fits so well. So Wanderlust is gonna get 20, and that's going right into Weekenders. And I moved the money that was in Fun into here as well. So now we have 100, 200, 250, 270, 290, 310, 330 in Weekenders. This is going to go towards my trip down to Nova Scotia for Maya's graduation at the end of next month, and then a couple trips over the summer. And then spending has nothing, accommodation and flights has nothing, fun has nothing, dining has nothing, pre-trip expenses has nothing, but miscellaneous has 35 in there. So in total, that's that's not 345 on the tracker, it would be 365. So that is it for this cash stuffing video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too hectic as far as. So that is it for this cash stuffing video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys weren't disappointed with the tea that I had to spill in this one after the last couple weeks that I've had. It's just been really busy, and I haven't been doing too much except for putting in the time. But with my near-death experience, that kind of just shook me up a little bit, and I needed that extra night. So I really appreciate the patience there, and I hope you guys enjoy the savings challenge video that will be coming right after this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.